Hello and welcome to Northants Authors YouTube channel. I'm Morgan Bailey, one of the authors of Northants Authors, and just here to tell you a little bit about us. We are a cooperative of mainly self-published but also traditionally published authors who live within the county of Northamptonshire, England, and have books, whether it's ebooks or paperbacks, for sale. We attend local events and it's great meeting our public. And of course they love the fact that they can have books signed by us to keep and read themselves or to give as presents. This series is a little way of getting to know us better and hear extracts from our books. I hope you enjoy. We hope you enjoy them.
Hi, my name is Nick Hamlyn. I'm the author of a novel called Music for a Desert Island, published at the end of 2015, but I'm not going to read any of that. I'm going to read a short story called The Howard Jones Question from a collection published in April 2017. The Howard Jones Question. When Stephen came in, he found that his father was still downstairs, dozing on the sofa, while a science fiction video played to itself. Stephen watched for a minute, then clicked the off switch on the remote. His father opened his eyes. "Hey, I was watching that." "Sure, Dad, and I bet you can tell me exactly what just happened, can't you?" "Of course I can. I've been following it closely. It's a classic episode, this one." "Well, no, maybe not what just happened." "Listen, Dad, if you're awake now, there's something I want to talk about." His father yawned, then tried, with rather limited success, to compose his sleepy face into an expression of intense interest. Stephen forged on regardless. "You see, I think I might be in love." Now his father was interested. "Well, you've not said that before. Who's the lucky girl?" "Helen, of course. You know, I've been seeing her for the past couple of months." "Oh yes, Helen." He remembered. Pretty girl, red hair, intelligent eyes, fond of barley wine. "And is that a problem, being in love with Helen?" "I don't know. Well, no, it's not a problem. But the thing is, as I said, I only think I might be in love. I mean, how am I supposed to know? How does anyone know if it's love? What is love anyway?" His father chuckled. "Ah, yes, the Howard Jones question." "Howard Jones?" "Don't worry," he said, seeing a blank expression on his son's face. "It's an 80s pop reference, before your time." Right. You're avoiding the issue," Stephen said. "I want to know, when you fell in love with Mum, how did you know you had? I take it that you did fall in love with Mum." His father chuckled again, but without evident humour this time. "I suppose I must have done, yes. It's hard to remember. It was a long time ago and a lot's happened since then. But I know the feeling, love. It seems kind of obvious, really. Well, to me. Clearly not if you're 22. I could tell you a story if you like. About a friend of mine. It's only a silly thing, really, more an anecdote than a story, but it might help a little." "Do I need to get us something to drink?" Stephen asked. "Coffee, maybe? I know your stories." "I'm all right. You can get yourself a coffee if you want. But it really won't take long. Like I said, it's only a silly thing." Stephen settled into the adjacent armchair. "Go on then," he said. "Well, this friend of mine, John, he's been fancying a woman at work for ages. He told me all about her. Maria, she's called, and they work together most of the time, so he's had plenty of opportunity to get to know her. And he thinks she's fantastic. The thing is, though, she's got a boyfriend. She talks about him a lot, although she doesn't seem very happy with him. He hasn't hit her or anything, but you know, there can be other things. Little things perhaps, but they add up. Only there's a kid, and even if he thought there might be a chance, John wouldn't want to be the one to break up the family." "There's plenty as would," Stephen interrupted. "They wouldn't be bothered in the least. All's fair in love and war and all that." "Yes, well, maybe that's true. But John wouldn't want to do that. And anyway, she's quite a bit younger than he is, so she probably wouldn't be interested in any case. She's only a little older than you are, for goodness sake. That's what he thinks, that it matters. I expect he's got a partner himself, hasn't he? A wife, maybe? Separated since ages ago, and there's no one else. Principled bloke, then, or just pessimistic, maybe, about the age gap. Glass half empty sort of bloke. Sounds rather like you on all counts. Stephen's father smiled weakly. Yes, well, he's my friend. We think the same about lots of things. Anyway, her birthday was coming up, and she'd let slip that she rather hoped someone would buy her this pair of figurines she'd seen in a local shop. Nice things, not tat. So of course John said that he would get them for her. He soon worked out which were the right figurines. They were in the shop's window display. He asked the assistant if she could get them out for him, and she asked him, just being friendly, if they were a Valentine's present. John replied no, they were a birthday present. He'd forgotten that Valentine's Day was coming up. Well, he'd already decided long before that he wouldn't give Maria a Valentine's card, not in the circumstances, so he'd put the whole thing out of his mind. But the assistant carried on chatting about it, making it apparent that she was still assuming the present was for a special woman in John's life, not just someone he worked with, but a partner. And a funny thing happened. It was all in John's head, but for those minutes, while he was making the purchase and the assistant was talking about it, suddenly Maria was a special woman in John's life. He felt that he was married to her, that he had been married to her for ages, and he couldn't imagine being happier. And all the way back to his house, with the figurines gift-wrapped and safe in a carrier bag, he felt as though he knew exactly what people meant when they said they were walking on air, because that's what he was doing. And that feeling of being really glad about the merest imagining of being a special woman's partner, and obviously you're quite aware really that it's not true, that it's just a fantasy, well, that feeling is love. There was silence for a few moments, as Stephen waited to see if his father had finished talking. He was staring into space now, his eyes focused on nothing that was in the room. Is that it? Stephen asked. It's not much of a story. His father shook his head as if to clear it and smiled. Well, I said it wasn't much, but I was hoping it would make the point. It does, Dad, Stephen said. He was looking at his father as though he hadn't quite seen him properly before. A distinct tone of bravado entered his voice as he added, I don't want to marry Helen, though. Spend the weekend in bed with her, absolutely. But marriage, no thanks. Maybe it's a generation thing. Or maybe I don't love her after all, not really. He stood up. I'll go and make that coffee now. Are you sure you don't want one? Oh, go on then, his father replied. I expect it is a generation thing, actually. Love, I mean, not the coffee. Stephen paused at the door to the kitchen and looked back. Perhaps I'd better check out that 80s pop singer. Howard Jones, was it? But his father did not reply. He was gazing at something only he could see, apparently lost in thought. Stephen watched him for a few moments, and his father neither moved nor spoke again. Dad, he said, hoping that his words would get through. Dad, go for it.